What if I told you that most of your problems come from your need to be liked? Think about it. How many times have you held back your opinion because you feared judgment, chased success just to gain approval, felt anxious about what others think of you? Here's the hard truth. The more you seek validation, the more you lose control over your own life. But what if you could break free? Welcome to the Book Butler, where we bring you the best ideas from life-changing books. In today's video, we're diving into The Courage to Be Disliked, a book based on Adlerian psychology that teaches you how to stop caring about what others think, build true confidence from within, live life on your own terms, without guilt. By the end of this video, you'll have the tools to stop chasing approval and start living freely. So, if you're ready to take control of your happiness, let's dive in. This idea is life-changing, but it's also controversial. So in this video, I'll break down Chapter 1, The Courage to Be Disliked, explaining how this mindset shift can free you from limiting beliefs and give you full control over your life. Segment 1, The Illusion of Cause and Effect. Most of us believe in a cause and effect way of thinking. If someone is shy, we assume it's because they had a tough childhood. If someone lacks confidence, we assume it's because they were bullied. We think, my past experiences created my present personality. This is a foundation of Freudian psychology, the idea that the past shapes the present. But Alfred Adler completely rejects this. Instead, he says, it's not the past that determines you, it's the meaning you give it. In simple terms, this means that two people can go through the same experience but interpret it in completely different ways. Example, imagine two students who both fail an exam. Student A says, I failed because I'm not smart enough. I'll never succeed. Student B says, I failed because I didn't study enough. I'll work harder next time. Same situation, different mindset. The first student lets the past define them, while the second student uses it as motivation. Key lesson, your past is not a script that controls your future. It's just a story. And if that story is holding you back, you can rewrite it. Segment 2, we create our own emotions. Now, here's something even more shocking. Emotions don't control us, we create them. Most people believe their emotions are caused by external events. I got angry because my friend insulted me. I'm insecure because people judge me. I have social anxiety because I was bullied. But Adler argues that this is a choice. People don't feel emotions because of situations. They choose emotions to serve a goal. Example, let's take the example of social anxiety. Imagine someone says, I can't speak in public because I've always been shy. Adler would challenge this and ask, what purpose does this fear serve? Maybe the person wants to avoid embarrassment. Maybe they fear being judged. Maybe they don't want to take responsibility. In reality, they are choosing fear because it helps them avoid discomfort. Key lesson, next time you feel an emotion holding you back, ask yourself, is this emotion serving a goal? If the answer is yes, then you have the power to let go of that emotion by changing your goal. Segment 3, teleology. We are driven by goals, not the past. One of the most important concepts in The Courage to Be Disliked is teleology, which means that people's behavior is driven by future goals, not past experiences. Cause versus goal-oriented thinking. Cause and effect thinking, Freud. I can't trust people because I was betrayed in the past. Goal-oriented thinking, Adler. I choose not to trust people because I want to avoid getting hurt. See the difference? The second statement puts you in control of your choices. Example, imagine a child who always gets sick before an important exam. A traditional psychologist might say, the child is sick because of stress. Adler would ask, does the child subconsciously want to avoid the exam? In many cases, fear, anxiety, and self-doubt exist because they serve a hidden goal, avoiding failure, rejection, or discomfort. Key lesson: instead of asking, why am I like this? Start asking, what goal is this behavior serving? Segment 4. Trauma is a convenient excuse. Here's the most controversial part of Chapter 1. Trauma does not define you. Many people feel stuck in life because they believe their past controls them. But Adler argues that trauma is just an event. It's not a life sentence. The only thing that matters is how you interpret it. Example: 2 people experience childhood trauma. One uses it as an excuse to stay stuck. I can't be happy because of my past. The other uses it as motivation to grow. I will become strong because of my past. One lets the past control them, while the other takes control of their life. Adler says, you are not controlled by trauma. You are controlled by your own interpretation of it. Key lesson: your past is not your identity. The moment you stop using it as an excuse, you free yourself. Conclusion: you are in control of your life. Chapter 1, The Courage to be Disliked, presents a powerful and challenging idea. Your past does not define you. Your present choices do. You don't feel emotions because of external events. You create them to serve a goal. You are not controlled by trauma. You choose how to interpret it. Action steps: 1. Rewrite your story. If your past is holding you back, change how you interpret it. 2. Identify hidden goals. Ask yourself, what goal is this emotion or behavior serving? 3. Stop blaming the past. Shift from cause and effect thinking to goal-oriented thinking. By applying these ideas, you take back full control of your life and develop the courage to be disliked. Chapter 2, The Root of All Problems. We're diving into Chapter 2 of The Courage to be Disliked, breaking down this eye-opening concept and how understanding it can set you free from unnecessary suffering. Let's get started. Segment 1. Why all problems are relationship problems. Most people think their problems are personal. I have low self-esteem because I don't believe in myself. I'm anxious because I don't know what I'm doing with my life. I'm unhappy because I don't have enough money. But Adlerian psychology says these aren't real problems. They're symptoms of a deeper issue: how you view yourself in relation to others. Let's break this down. Example 1. Low self-esteem. A person says, I feel insecure about my appearance. But what is insecurity? It's comparison, feeling less than others. If you lived alone on an island, would you still feel insecure? Probably not. Insecurity exists only because you are comparing yourself to other people. Example 2. Fear of failure. Someone says, I'm afraid of failing in my career. Are they afraid of failure itself? No. They are afraid of what others will think if they fail. The moment you remove other people's opinions from the equation, the fear of failure disappears. Key lesson: most of our struggles exist only in relation to other people. Segment 2. The inferiority complex, the root of self-doubt. Adlerian psychology introduces a concept of the inferiority complex, the belief that we are less than others. This happens in 2 ways. 1. Real inferiority, having less skill or experience in something, e.g., being a beginner at a sport. 2. Psychological inferiority, feeling like you're not good enough, even when there's no real reason for it. Example: imagine 2 students in a classroom. Student A struggles with math but thinks, I can improve with practice. Student B struggles with math but thinks, I'm just not smart enough. The difference? Student B has an inferiority complex. They turn a temporary struggle into a permanent identity. How this holds you back? People with an inferiority complex do 2 things. 1. They avoid challenges. Instead of trying, they say, I'm just not talented. 2. They seek validation. They want others to tell them they're good enough. Key lesson: feeling inferior is normal, but if you turn it into an excuse, you stop growing. Segment 3. The superiority complex, overcompensating for insecurity. The book introduces another concept, the superiority complex, when people try to feel important by putting others down. This is the opposite of the inferiority complex, but it comes from the same place, insecurity. Examples. Someone constantly brags about their achievements. They secretly feel unworthy. A boss treats employees badly. They feel powerless in other areas of life. Someone criticizes others all the time. They are avoiding looking at their own flaws. How this holds you back. If you rely on being better than others to feel good, you will always need someone to be worse. Your happiness becomes dependent on competition. Key lesson. True confidence isn't about being better than others. It's about not needing to compare at all. Segment 4. Breaking free. How to stop seeking approval. The main reason we struggle with relationships is that we seek approval from others. We want people to like us, respect us, and accept us. But the truth is, no matter how hard you try, you can't control what others think of you. Trying to please everyone is a never-ending trap. It will exhaust you and make you miserable. So what's the solution? Adler teaches that we must separate our tasks. Your task, to live according to your own values. Other people's task, to decide how they feel about you. If someone dislikes you, that's their task, not yours. You don't have to carry that burden. Example, a person says, "I'm afraid to post my ideas online because people might judge me." Adler would ask, who does that judgment belong to? The answer, the other person. It's not your task to control how others feel. Key lesson, once you stop chasing approval, you gain true freedom. Conclusion, the courage to be disliked. Chapter 2 of The Courage to be Disliked reveals a powerful truth. All problems in life are relationship problems. The inferiority complex makes us feel less than others. The superiority complex makes us feel better by putting others down. Seeking approval will always make you miserable. Freedom comes when you stop worrying about other people's opinions. Action steps. 1. Recognize when you're comparing yourself to others. 2. Stop overcompensating. Confidence doesn't come from superiority. 3. Separate your tasks from others' opinions. Let them think what they want. By applying these ideas, you gain true self-confidence and develop the courage to be disliked. Chapter 3. Free yourself from other people's expectations. Chapter 3 of The Courage to be Disliked introduces a concept that might change your life forever. The idea that you must separate your tasks from other people's expectations. Let's dive in. Segment 1. The Trap of Living for Others. Most of us spend our lives trying to please others. We make decisions based on what people might think. We seek approval to feel worthy. We fear rejection, so we act in ways that make others happy. But the book reveals a harsh truth. The moment you start living for other people, you lose control of your life. Think about it. If your happiness depends on pleasing others, what happens when they disapprove? If your confidence comes from being liked, what happens when someone criticizes you? The more you seek approval, the more trapped you become. Example, imagine a young woman who dreams of becoming an artist. Her parents say, "That's not a real job, become a lawyer instead." She listens to them, choosing a career she hates just to make them happy. Who is she living for? Not herself, but the expectations of others. Key lesson, if you spend your life trying to be liked, you'll end up living someone else's life. Segment 2, the concept of separating tasks. So, how do we break free? The book introduces a powerful concept called separating tasks. Whose task is this? Yours or someone else's? Every problem in life can be divided into tasks. Your task, the things you can control. Other people's task, how they react, think, or feel. When you try to control someone else's task, you suffer. Example 1, fear of judgment. You want to post your opinions online, but you're afraid of criticism. Your task to share your thoughts honestly. Other people's task, whether they like or dislike what you say. Once you realize that other people's opinions are not your task, you stop caring so much. Example 2, trying to make your parents happy. You want to pursue a passion, but your parents disapprove. Your task, to follow your own path. Your parents' task, how they feel about it. You are not responsible for making them happy. Their emotions are their task. Key lesson, whenever you feel trapped by expectations, ask yourself, is this my task or someone else's? If it's not your task, let it go. Segment 3, the freedom of not seeking approval. Most of our fears, fear of rejection, fear of failure, fear of judgment, come from caring too much about approval. But the book asks, do you really need to be liked by everyone? Think about the most successful, impactful people in history. Leaders, artists, thinkers. Did everyone love them? No. Did they care? No. They had the courage to be disliked because they knew. The moment you stop chasing approval, you gain true freedom. How this changes your life. 1, you stop worrying about criticism. Not everyone will like you, and that's okay. 2, you stop making choices based on fear. Do what aligns with your values, not what others expect. 3, you build real confidence. Confidence isn't about being liked. It's about living on your own terms. Key lesson, not everyone will like you. That's their task, not yours. Segment 4, how to apply this in real life. So, how can you start living for yourself? Step 1, recognize when you're doing something for approval. Are you making a decision because you truly want it or because you want to avoid judgment? Step 2, separate tasks. If it's your task, take full responsibility. If it's someone else's task, let go of their reaction. Step 3, accept that not everyone will like you. No matter what you do, someone will disagree. Instead of fearing it, embrace it. Step 4, live according to your own values. Make decisions based on what's right for you. Stop seeking validation from others. By doing this, you gain true freedom, the courage to be disliked. Conclusion, choose your own path. Chapter 3 of The Courage to be Disliked teaches us that living for approval makes you a prisoner. You must separate your tasks from other people's expectations. True freedom comes from not needing to be liked by everyone. Action steps. 1, stop making choices based on approval. 2, ask yourself, whose task is this? 3, accept that not everyone will like you, and that's okay. The moment you stop chasing approval, you become truly free. Chapter 4, stop competing and start living. Chapter 4, The Courage to be Disliked, challenges everything we've been taught about success and introduces a radical idea. True happiness comes when you stop competing altogether. Let's dive into this mind-blowing concept. Segment 1, why competition is an illusion. Most people think life is like a ladder. You must climb higher than others to succeed. But here's the problem. If you're always competing, you're always comparing. If you're always comparing, you'll never feel satisfied. This means that as long as you see life as a competition, you'll never win. Example, imagine 2 students. Student A studies hard because they love learning. Student B studies hard because they want to score higher than their classmates. Who do you think is happier? Student A is focused on growth. Student B is focused on beating others. The moment you stop seeing others as competitors, you stop feeling pressure to prove yourself. Key lesson, the more you compete, the more you compare. And the more you compare, the more unhappy you become. Segment 2, the problem with seeking to be special. Many people believe they need to be extraordinary to be valuable. I need to be the best in my field. I need to be the smartest person in the room. I need to stand out to be loved. But according to Adlerian psychology, this mindset creates unnecessary suffering. Why? Because when you try to be special, you're actually saying, I'm not enough as I am. I must prove my worth. Example, a man works long hours, trying to be the top performer in his company. But deep down, he's not doing it because he loves his work. He's doing it because he fears being seen as ordinary. This is a superiority complex in action. The need to feel better than others, to feel good about yourself. Key lesson, you don't need to be special to be worthy. You are enough just as you are. Segment 3, switch from competition to contribution. If life isn't a competition, then what is it? The book says, instead of trying to be better than others, focus on contributing to others. What does this mean? Instead of chasing personal success, ask, how can I add value? Instead of trying to outshine others, ask, how can I help others grow? Example 1, a shift in mindset. Competing mindset, I need to sell more than my colleagues. Contribution mindset, I need to serve my clients better. Example 2, a shift in relationships. Competing mindset, I must be more attractive than others to be loved. Contribution mindset, I will be a loving, supportive partner. When you shift from competing to contributing, your actions become more meaningful, and happiness follows naturally. Key lesson, true success isn't about winning, it's about giving. Segment 4, live life on your own terms. Most people are stuck in competition because they are playing by someone else's rules. The book teaches that you must 1. Define success for yourself, not based on society's expectations, but on what truly matters to you. 2. Stop seeking validation. You don't need to be better than others. You only need to be true to yourself. 3. Embrace the joy of living. Instead of measuring your worth by achievements, start measuring it by the quality of your life. Example, a woman quits her high-paying job to start a small bakery. By society standards, she has failed because she earns less. But by her standards, she is successful because she is doing what she loves. Key lesson, when you define success for yourself, you free yourself from competition. Conclusion, the courage to stop competing. Chapter 4, the courage to be disliked, gives us a powerful message. Life is not a competition. Trying to be special makes you unhappy. True success comes from contribution, not comparison. Happiness happens when you live by your own rules. Action steps. 1. Stop comparing yourself to others. 2. Shift your focus from winning to contributing. 3. Define success on your own terms. The moment you stop competing, you start truly living. Chapter 5. How to build true confidence. In Chapter 5 of The Courage to be Disliked, we learn the truth about self-worth and why you don't need validation from others to feel confident. If you're ready to break free from self-doubt and start believing in yourself, keep watching. Segment 1. The illusion of self-worth. Most people believe that confidence comes from achievements. I'll feel worthy once I have a successful career. I'll be confident when I get in shape. I'll be happy once I'm in a relationship. But here's the shocking truth from Adlerian psychology. Your worth is not determined by your achievements. Think about it. If your confidence depends on success, then failure will destroy your self-worth. If your confidence depends on validation, then rejection will crush you. This is why so many people struggle with low self-esteem, because their self-worth is conditional. Example, 2 students take the same exam. Student A fails and thinks, I'm not smart enough. Student B fails and thinks, I need to study differently next time. The difference? Student A ties their worth to results, while Student B separates their worth from failure. Key lesson, you are not your achievements. Your worth is not something you need to prove. Segment 2, why you must accept yourself first. One of the biggest lessons in this chapter is that confidence comes from self-acceptance, not external success. Most people think, I'll accept myself once I've improved. I'll love myself once I'm better. But the book argues that this thinking is backward. You don't need to change to be worthy. You're already enough as you are. Example, imagine you have a child who is learning to walk. Would you say, you're not worthy of love until you can walk perfectly? No, you'd love and support them as they are. Yet, many people treat themselves with harsh judgment, thinking they must earn their own acceptance. Key lesson, confidence doesn't come from being perfect. It comes from embracing who you are today. Segment 3, stop chasing recognition. The freedom of not needing approval. The book explains that the need for recognition is a trap. Why? Because the moment your confidence depends on others' opinions, you lose control of your self-worth. A life spent chasing approval is not your own life. It belongs to those you seek approval from. Example 1, social media validation. You post a picture online and wait for likes. If you get many likes, you feel good. If you get few likes, you feel insecure. Who is controlling your self-worth? Other people. Example 2, the workplace trap. An employee constantly works overtime, hoping their boss will praise them. If they get recognition, they feel valuable. If they don't, they feel like a failure. Who is controlling their confidence? Someone else. Key lesson, confidence must come from within, not from what others think. Segment 4, how to build unshakable confidence. If confidence isn't based on achievements or recognition, then how do we build it? The book gives 3 powerful steps. Step 1, separate self-worth from outcomes. Whether you win or fail, you are still valuable. Your worth doesn't change based on external results. Step 2, stop comparing yourself to others. Someone else's success doesn't mean your failure. Focus on your progress, not competition. Step 3, find meaning in contribution, not recognition. Instead of asking, how can I impress people? Ask, how can I contribute to others? Example, a teacher who teaches for the love of education versus a teacher who teaches for awards. The first finds joy in the work itself. The second depends on external validation, which one will feel fulfilled no matter what. Key lesson, confidence grows when you separate your worth from external success and focus on contributing to the world. Conclusion, the courage to believe in yourself. Chapter 5 of The Courage to be Disliked teaches us a powerful truth. You don't need to achieve more to be worthy. Confidence comes from self-acceptance, not validation. Chasing recognition will never make you truly happy. True confidence comes when you stop proving yourself and start focusing on what matters. Action steps. 1. Remind yourself daily, I am enough as I am. 2. Stop seeking validation. Your worth is not up for debate. 3. Focus on contribution, not competition. Once you stop chasing approval, you gain the courage to believe in yourself. We've just explored the powerful lessons from the courage to be disliked. And if there's one thing to take away, it's this. Your happiness is in your hands. Here's what we've learned. Chapter 1. Your past does not define you. Your choices do. Chapter 2. Stop blaming others. Take full responsibility for your life. Chapter 3. Life is not about competition. True freedom comes when you stop comparing yourself. Chapter 4. You don't need to prove your worth. Focus on contribution, not recognition. Chapter 5. Confidence comes from self-acceptance, not approval from others. At its core, this book teaches us that we don't need everyone to like us. We just need the courage to live authentically. Now, I have a question for you. What's one idea from this video that resonated with you the most? Let me know in the comments. And if you found this summary valuable, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the Book Butler, and turn on notifications so you never miss another life-changing book summary. Thank you for watching, and remember, you don't need permission to live the life you want. See you in the next video.